No, people don't want to play Formal. I'm telling you. He's feared.
Have you ever played against him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, the scariest Matt I've ever played against is obviously IW. Like,
kind of was like so angry from the Black Ops 3 year and the way it ended. Just kind of like gave me a different type of like intensity for all of IW. Like, I don't know if I would say that was the best version of like myself, but to competitors around me, they probably saw me in a different type of light where they were kind of just really scared to play against me. Like,
the other day I came across a Reddit post. Now, of course, I can't find it now, but it was something along the lines of who had the highest peak in Call of Duty history, and it really piqued my interest. Some say it was Crim6 and Ghost, Scump in Advanced Warfare, or even Simp in Black Ops 4. And today I'm gonna make the case for Formal. During the entire Jetpack era, Formal was on a different level than everyone else, but the Infinite Warfare season was easily his peak, and he went on to have the single best event in COD history. I mean, this guy literally invented chowling.
I kind of invented like chowling. All the ARs that you see are just descendants of mine, like Dashy, Zip. That's all because of me.
And was holding it down for Optic for years. But to understand how he reached that peak, you have to understand the crushing defeats that lit the fire. So let's take it all the way back to Champs in Black Ops 3. In AW and BO3, Optic were the favorites, and when Nadeshot retired, Karma ended up taking his place, and the Optic dynasty as we know it was born. Optic dominated the end of AW, winning 9 events and the entire BO3 season with 5. After a loss in pool play at Champs, Optic finished 2-1, earning a spot in winners bracket, but of course they lost to Envy in round 1, forced to make a lower bracket run. They won 2 matches before playing Cloud9 and Aches, Optic's longtime rival. It was a great game that went all the way to a game 5 round 11, and it all came down to one gunfight between Formal and Assault.
30 seconds, that bomb is down. C9 has a very nice setup as well. Formal's able to pick up one. He's not going to get traded out as well. Karma doesn't get the second. Player coming, challenge over top. Formal's going to be able to help him out. Karma going for the kill. Formal up to you. 1v1 situation. Assault coming over. And Assault wins the 1v1. Optic Gaming, we will see you fudge it.
It was a heartbreaking way to end a strong season, and Optic began to crumble internally. For Formal, it was an opportunity for revenge. He spent years working his way up through different teams before landing a spot with the biggest brand in Call of Duty, and he wasn't ready to throw in the towel. Infinite Warfare was Optic's season to break the curse and cement their dynasty, and Formal had one of the most dominant end of season runs we've ever seen. But Optic was having second thoughts about whether they would stick for the following season. The heartbreak and anger associated with the failed Champs run cast a dark cloud over them. After an underwhelming top 6 at the first event, Formal was already in talks with Luminosity as a backup plan if Optic didn't work out. The team almost broke up at CWL Atlanta, where in losers round 5 they played Panda Gaming, an amateur team, and it went to a game 5 round 11. Now years later, Formal told the story of what would have happened if Karma lost this 1v1.
This might be number 1 like most pivotal 1v1s like of a season ever.
Trying to hunt down Karma in these situations.
Because if Damon would have lost this, I would have been gone. I would have left, and I would have went play with LG, I think.
Play as well, probably not the best thing to use in a 1v1. Fastball immediately rotating through that middle map area. We could have a gunfight coming down here to decide if the fastball spot Karma. That is the question. Oh, Karma's going to be right on the other side of the wall. We can see it through X-ray. My heart is racing, and Karma is going to come out on top and take out fastball, eliminating Panda Gaming.
But Optic went on to have an incredible grand finals against E United, but they ultimately lost this event. Formal was statistically elite. He had a 1.2 plus KD, but the team synergy was not perfect yet.
He's got him tagged up, looking to push him. We saw him in the corner underneath. He's hit with a jammer. Can he win it? Oh! He gets it barely.
Like I said, Formal's incredible run came at the end of the season, but I think all these struggles and losses formed him into the player he became, and he was unstoppable. The narrative started to shift heading into the spring of 2017 in Paris. This time, Optic completely dominated the bracket, and Formal was putting on for the team. Formal finished the tournament as the MVP with a 1.25. Mind you, they also played a lot more games back then, making this even more impressive. Dallas was a turning point in Optic's season. They started catching some serious momentum. Formal wasn't even in his best form yet, and he was already doing things like this.
Happen here, sees one, knows exactly where this next player is. And look at the play from Clay. There goes the jump though. The FPL jump too strong.
After making another dominant bracket run, they met E United in the grand finals again. This time Optic got their revenge in Atlanta, taking another dub on the season. He was beginning to heat up and his teammates realized that. But just when everyone thought the dynasty was untouchable, reality hit. During stage 1 playoffs, Optic breezed through stage 1 with a perfect 6-0 record, but in playoffs, they came out flat against FaZe and ran into a brick wall against Luminosity, ultimately finishing in 4th. It was a harsh wake-up call. The talent was there, but they weren't invincible yet. This and the Anaheim event event was the setback Formal needed to become unstoppable and reach the highest peak we've ever seen in Call of Duty. From stage 2 onward, Formal reached the pinnacle of skill, and Optic won nearly every event for the rest of the season. During stage 2 playoffs on LAN, Formal dropped an incredible 1.27, rocking the NB4.
Stay slow. Coming alive now, and you've got a 30-point advantage for Optic.
We've talked about it over the years as you see Formal nail some long-range shots, but when those guys, specifically Formal and Scump, get off to slow starts, you need to take advantage of it. Envy has let Optic hang in this game, and you see once they start to get rolling, what they can do.
Listen, man, he's ready now. He's ready now!
Oh my God!
Formal plugs in the controller, a 7-streak, full streaks, earned the FTLs there. John, stop peeking the man. Give yourself a chance.
And he's ready.
Ready for
He
the
was going
flank.
toe-to-toe with some of the greats like Clayster and challenging entire teams by himself. Fans and players were already jaw-dropped, but the best was yet to come at the biggest tournament of the year. But let's take a pause right here. The real question is, what made Formal so dominant? It wasn't just his raw aim that made him dominant, it's how he made the game work for him. At a certain point in the season, Optic realized that Formal was in final form, and they started setting him up for success. His goal was to hold lane, control spawns, and he was pretty much their center for map control. You could think of Formal as like a mobile turret and challenging people cross map while his teammates got aggressive. That's why it worked so well, because you had players like Formal who could sit back, beam, and then you had other players like Scump whose main job was to control the pace of the map, be aggressive, and essentially outgun everyone he sees. Even looking at the stats alone, you could tell that Formal's impact was felt every time he played. Now, I've said it before, stats don't mean everything, but it does give you kind of a picture into a player's impact on the map. And throughout the entire Infinite Warfare season, Formal only had 200 less engagements than Scump. Obviously, Karma was doing a lot of the dirty work, but you could tell that Optic was playing around Formal. And I mean, why wouldn't you? This guy was literally frying everything in sight, and when he started heating up, there was no stopping him. It wasn't limited to this game either. This is a common skill that Formal had throughout the Jetpack titles, but the loss from BO3 brought a different, more ferocious version of himself. Beyond his in-game skill, his mindset was another reason he pushed Optic to succeed this season. Players that have reached their peak in Call of Duty is not just because they could shoot straight or they think about the game well, it's because they have that killer instinct that some of the other pros just don't have.
No, Formal, a traditional AR player, a little bit further back, whatnot, like the disparity between like him at the top and then like everybody else right now, I think is huge.
Yeah, it's been kind of insane to see.
Finally, Optic had the chance to break the curse at Champs, and all of this stuff boiling up from the season led to this moment where Formal had the highest peak Call of Duty has ever seen.
Sorely an opportunity to move up the map. He got first blood now. Formal last man up again. The 1v2, and he's going to be able to clutch it. That should not happen.
That should never happen. How does Formal even make that possible? Look, he can't even believe it.
This was a shot at redemption for the Dynasty, and anything other than a win was considered a failure. Formal and the Optic guys knew what was at stake. To understand how freakish this performance was, you have to look at the numbers. In a tournament featuring the best players on Earth, Formal posted a 1.44 overall KD.
Left, so we'll see. Epsilon holds this. They've been playing very strong here in half number 1.
And these players all have Champs history. Obviously, 3 of the Epsilon members here. And I will say for Epsilon, it's not a bad start. The one thing that you don't want to do with Optic Gaming is give them that initial kind of Formal 25 and 10. He's just kind of holding down the entire map, time after time again. And just the way he flies around, he's got that full control. He's working towards streaks. I want to say again, he's making it look easy, and
Envy had been Optic's kryptonites to this point, and Optic would make a run to the winners finals where they eventually lost to Envy, dropping to the losers bracket.
And on the rotation. Last time it was a Scarab that broke them on this hill. I don't know if Optic have any to work with it.
Now waiting on the next approach here from Slice.
Oh gosh, he spots him. I mean,
You see on X-ray, he's got one top right.
Bye-bye.
Got it. Tries to get away with his life now. Maybe he can get
Scump the duo slowly pushing out. There it is. FTL earned, bombardment earned.
Don't connect with one of the players on that top side, and it allows Optic Gaming to hold on through that bombardment. They don't use the camo. It is a done for Optic Gaming, a 4-point lead. We're looking at a 3-0.
I mean, the first 2 maps, it wasn't really like they had a chance, you know? So that's just, we were playing at that level that sometimes we get to, and when we get to that level, it is incredibly hard to beat us. And
the curse narrative exploded. Everyone thought that they were going to choke again, but Formal entered a state of disassociation. He later admitted that he was ignoring texts from his best friends and family, completely cutting off his personal life to stay in flow state. This was the only thing that mattered to him. In the losers finals, they had to go through Luminosity and Octane, the only other AR who could even pretend to challenge Formal. Optic swept them 3-0, and Formal made it look like a pub match. They met Envy again in the grand finals, so coming from the losers bracket, Optic had to win 2 best-of-5 series. Optic took the first series 3-1. The bracket got reset. In the second series, Optic completely dominated them.
You don't really need a game to game, but in these big moments, you know, when you are one of the leaders.
On the opposite side of the map from where they want to be. Formal now 1 kill off the Trinity rocket.
Formal continues to destroy a 6 streak.
The final seconds tick down on Precinct Uplink. You saw Scump screaming, shaken with years of pent-up frustration, and this was truly an iconic moment in Call of Duty history. Formal finished the event as the MVP with a 1.44, the world champion and undisputed best player in the game. For anyone who clicks on this video and scrolls to the comments, just know that IW Formal is the greatest peak player in COD history. This guy was shooting beams while playing perfect COD. Most dominant performance in the history of comp COD. And then we got Beanhead 500 who said, not better than me though. This run by Formal and Optic Gaming is forever burned in the esports history. There were so many factors that led to Formal being such a dominant player, but his focus, mindset, and determination really pushed him to become the best version of a player that Call of Duty has ever seen.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Your 2017 Call of Duty World League champions, Optic Gaming. Give it up one more time.
What Formal did in August of 2017 was and still is the highest peak performance in Call of Duty history. So what are some other legendary individual performances that you think even come close to this one? I'm really interested to see what you guys think down below. All I gotta say was this guy Formal was different. And if you have the chance to go back and watch some IW highlights, I definitely recommend it because you're gonna be just as mind blown as I was. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope y'all have a great week and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.
There is a level you can reach that's truly unbeatable. It's just like the amount of effort required by all 4 players that would be doing it. It has to be like everyone has to be about it. If one person f***s up, it's not going to work. But if everyone was doing it, like I don't know, I feel like the Call of Duty scene, it's just like not as serious as like it could be. Which like it's whatever. Like it takes a lot of effort, but there is definitely a different simulation where like Call of Duty is taken very seriously. It's like everyone plays perfect, and I know there's a way to play Call of Duty like that for sure, because like I don't know, you'll see people get close to it. Optic Dynasty was close to it in certain ways, right? We won a lot of events being not perfect, like not even close. We're just killing everyone. But there's definitely a way to play it where you're unbeatable, and no one's ever done it before. But maybe someday.